Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Timberborn streaming series. I am Pastor CJ Kent, and we're trying a slightly different setup today, so just bear with me while we get everything arranged. There we go. That's maybe even a little bit louder than I'd like, typically. That's good right there. Okay. So when last we left off with our beavers, we were almost done with the Badtide diversion project. Like, we were so super duper close. Maybe like 3 floodgates and a couple levees away. So I expect that we'll be finishing that up today. And working on some other stuff too. I'm gonna grab a drink while this loads. And there we go. This is the one thing about the game that I don't love. It just like takes a super long time to load. But I guess if it's gonna be super cool, it's worth waiting a super long time for it to load. Oh, we got sound. There we go. Alright. Now let's just do a quick tour, kind of remember what we're doing. We got dandelions, we got trees aplenty. A lot of damage from the last Badtide, but we're slowly recovering that. Got some carrots, got some sunflower seeds, and we got some spatterdock. Then this is our reservoir project that is on hold until we finish the diversion project, which, as I said, almost done. Literally just like 3 floodgates and a few levees left to go. And resource-wise, we've got plenty of wood, it looks like, so we should be good. So let's just get to it. Excuse me. Yeah, I was playing this pretty hard, even in my spare time for a couple weeks, and like I've since taken a little bit of a break to just do a couple other things. So it's been a minute since I've actually played Timberborn, even just on my own. I'm glad to be back to it though. It's such a fun game. Yeah, they're quick as they can working on all of this. There's a new gate. Done and dusted. We got some more platforms coming in. We're really just waiting on them to finish this and hoping that it's done before the next Badtide hits. Technically, even if we could get these 2 gates and this levee, we could start using that at that point. A lot of this is platforms and then like a couple levees. Yeah, 3 platforms, 3 levees here, 1 here. So it doesn't even have to be like completely finished for us to use it. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this thing completed. I'm just hoping that this channel is like wide enough and deep enough to carry all of the water from back here, and it doesn't like spill over this. Alright, getting there. Now, if this doesn't fix itself, we may end up having to just like do the destroy resource thing on all the dead trees to get them to plant some new living ones. For the oaks, besides aesthetics, it really doesn't matter because they don't produce anything besides wood, so they're not going to get replanted until they get cut down anyway, and that's fine. Like, they still give us the same amount of wood, dead or alive. For the other ones, though, our maples, our chestnuts, our pines, they produce secondary resources, which we would love to have access to. So we might have to destroy the dead trees to get some living ones in here so they can give us those secondary resources. Because we do have our tapper shack, and we are gathering up pine resin and all that. What's this? Medium warehouse? No! Are you kidding me? I mean, I have this prioritized as high as I can prioritize it. We have 3 days to finish this gate and this levee. So let's look at the priorities here. We are actually going to reduce the priorities there, because they should be able to just diagonal this, and that should help. So there'll be these 2 platforms, the gate, and this 1 levee. And it's pretty consistently just been bad tide after bad tide. Like, we haven't seen many droughts lately. Which I guess is a good thing, sort of. I'm tempted to increase the working hours just to like make sure this gets done. Seems like most of them are still coming out even though it's night though. They know how important this project is. Come on. Hurry. Oh, it needs a lot of resources still, actually. I hate to do this to our beavers, but we need this done. I don't want to have to recover from yet another bad tide. We're going to work 24/7 until this is finished, or at least usable. Come on, builders. We have 1 day left. I've noticed some people are hungry, thirsty, but... Okay, floodgate is done. We gotta do this levee, means we need this platform done. We can actually work on this. I can raise this to 1 to start holding it back while they work on this. So, like, if we need to. Come on, guys. Someone come build it. .9 days. Like I said, we can close this. But it's going to start overflowing here. That's not going to completely save us until that levee is done. So let's close that off for now. It's diverting a lot of it, though. Alright, we're going to go back to our normal working hours. While they finish this, it's literally just the levee, which is what they should be working on. Oh my, it's a lot for that channel to carry. Even with the leak. I mean, we're hoping to avoid this, but... Come on. There it is. Okay, that officially stops the flow back there. It's going to push more down this way. Yeah, I didn't want that to happen, but we actually have a pocket of fresh water down here still, which is good. It doesn't appear that this is close to overflowing. It did back up over here, which was expected, and into here. Okay, it's spilling over this way. Yeah, it's too much. We're gonna have to do levees all the way along there. Oh, that's not gonna be good. I'll go ahead and open this for now. It's starting to actually spill into my colony because it's just way, way too much. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. That's no good. Speaking of spilling into the colony, there you go. Maybe if we take it at like controlled intervals here. And it's spilled into here too, so everything's ruined. Alright, so the first part of the levee project was done. The blocking here. But as expected, we are going to need to reinforce this bank. So let's go ahead and start planning that out. It's going to be so much lumber. Okay. Alright, and then that just provides a natural barrier. If it overspills here, that doesn't really matter that much. So now, priority tool. All of this to high priority, or very high priority. And let's look at paths, because they're definitely gonna have a hard time getting out there. Alright. I mean, we could route along the top, but I think this is going to be easier. And we'll have to do a little bit of resource destruction right here. We're going to prioritize that also very high. And we're going to prioritize the rest of this very high just to make sure it gets done before we move on to all that. Literally just that one levee looks like. Okay, now it's starting to spill over. So we need to lower this. Maybe 1.5? No. I have to do 1. So we can get a more controlled flow. Less bloody. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so we are able to divert some of it, but not a ton. Well, I was worried that would be a problem, so now we know it is. Alright, 1.25. Because there's still plenty of capacity here at the moment. Just not enough for the whole futile depth. Okay, it looks like 1.25 is about as much as this channel is going to handle by itself. Man, like everything is dead. It's so bad. Yeah, we've got 19 unwell beavers, one of which is contaminated. Thankfully, we were already making antidote because of mishaps from last time, so that will take care of itself. Alright, Badtide is over, officially. So we've got fresh water coming down now. We're going to leave these up and try and flush as much of this out this way as we can. But some is still going to spill over. This is open, right? It is in fact open. Alright, food went down a lot, water went down a lot, but I think we're going to be okay. These Badtides, man, they're truly, truly rough. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and pull this back. I'm trying to flood them out, but seriously gotta take it nice and slow here. Alright, I think that's got it. Alright, so when we go to open that next time, we'll know. Can't go all the way right away or we'd flood out this whole area. Alright, we're getting everything replanted. Trying to recover from that bad tide, which really shouldn't have been as bad as it was. Yeah, and we're starting to build the retention levees here. So we can get this channel to handle a lot more capacity. But this part's done, so that's good. Yeah, we're definitely happy about this part. Alright, we've got 17 contaminated beavers and 2 of them who are unwell. Hopefully they'll start getting their antidote and get healed up here soon. I hate that so many of these trees just like did not make it. Our foresters out here replanting all the dead saplings. It's great. Does not have a person? No, it doesn't. Alright. We have 19 unoccupied jobs. That's probably because of how many beavers are contaminated. They wouldn't be working right now. Still though, housing might be something we want to upgrade here. Although food is also a little bit on the low side. So adding beavers to the population is probably not a great plan at the moment. Alright, we have 17 contaminated beavers, no more that are unwell. And that's what we had total before, so we know that they are healing up. So that's good. And yes, they've used a bunch of antidote. We have dandelions stored up in excess, which is good. We also need paper and berries to make our antidote. So we're working. What we would be. Need to up the workplace priority here, I think. Getting these beavers healed up is a priority. Alright, we've got some food rolling in now that the harvests have been replanted. I don't usually expect to flood the whole colony with bad water, so that was not the best happening, but yeah, we're getting there. Kind of impressive how long this just sits here. A long time. Alright, no one's there. Eventually we need to go through and do like proper workplace priorities. Get everything where it needs to be. I'm not ready for that yet. And they seem to be fine where they're at right now. Yeah, right to work. Getting our chestnuts replanted. Really, we just need to let this all sit, let them do their thing for a minute. I was worried this channel wasn't going to handle that much, and it did not, so... I mean, there you go. But this is done. Which is awesome. We can run a path up here if we wanted to. Not sure why we'd want to, but we could. Get to this, I guess. This is clearly designed to flood this area out. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but... maybe you would, I don't know. Yeah, we've got plenty of logs, so... which is good, because we need lots. That's what all of these are, just 12 logs per block. Eventually, I'd also like to upgrade this so that it has floodgates instead of this setup. That way I can control not only how much water we're holding back, but if we want to hold back water at all. So if the diversion project works, I don't think we would even need to let water out of here, so I guess that's kind of a non-issue, huh? Beaver's taking some showers. Getting that fur wet. Alright, we're getting there, slowly but surely. Wow, food is super duper low. So we do have workers back in there. Why is food so low? No berries to be picked. And we've probably been putting everything we have into antidotes. As far as that. We're grilling some spider duck. And some chestnuts. They don't seem to last very long, though. Yeah, I think not increasing the population was a good idea. We're not in a place to do that right now. Alright, we're getting the dandelions replanted, that's good. And we almost have all of the dead saplings replanted. But yeah, there's a lot of adult trees that need replanting too. They're gonna move the wood before he can replant that, that's why it's not being done. Same with this. Alright, what are we making over here? We have gears. We have paper. We have planks. Okay. Let's go ahead and plant some extra sunflowers, because why the heck not? Extra sunflowers, extra food. And dogs come to pay me a visit. Up, babies. He's cute. Okay, we have a drought approaching. Droughts, we can handle. I don't know how long it's going to be. But yeah, droughts we can handle. Okay, we have a Those bad tides are like super, super rough. But thankfully, almost a thing of the past. And this will help a lot because it'll force it to spill over this way. But like it's gonna be most helpful when it's actually done. Oh my. You okay, babies? Dog's cough. I hate when she does that. We're making progress. We're doing good. Like I don't want to make too many plans past just getting that one project done. Because like I said, the builders sort of have a lot to catch up on. Extra warehouse here, a mini lodge there. Alright, starting to get some antidote stockpiled again. So let's reset this job priority back to normal. Everyone's back at work. There's still 6 unoccupied jobs. And while we're starting to get some of this food resource back up and running, might be time to look at expanding the population. So I think we'll do that. And let's set priority. Very high. And I know like setting everything to very high is probably not what you should do, but that's what we're doing. Alright, now we're down to 2 unoccupied jobs. We've got 10 beaver kids. I think we can handle the extra 6 population that is going to provide us with, and that's going to be just fine, I think. Levies are coming right along. Alright, so we are going to seal this off, because we're still going to be pumping water down here. And we want to make sure that this stays hydrated even if nothing else does. Everything else should stay hydrated, but just in case. Yeah, like even the bad water stops when it's a drought. So one of the things we're going to do once this project's done is actually, obviously close that off to a certain point and allow that to fill up all of this as well. So we have this extra reservoir of water. And then this will always be close to like Well, no, I guess it would technically be open, but like during droughts and stuff, you'd close this off also, so this doesn't spill back this way. But yeah, this thing's gonna serve a double purpose for us, which is pretty cool. These are triples. Indeed they are. Alright, so because everything is very high priority, they're kind of going in order of what was done, so we're actually going to lower the priority of all of this, except for the tree. I still want that done, like, soon. So now, they'll work on this, and they'll get rid of that tree. And then they'll go back to doing all this. We're storing paper. Cool. The only way to make use of this would be to do like a double lodge or something here, but it would stick up, so it would kind of defeat the purpose. Alright, so the house is built. We're building the platforms now so we can actually access it. We have one unemployed beaver currently. I'm cool with that. Something cool to note about the tents here, the healing tents, is that you can actually put them underneath platforms. It kind of looks like you should be able to do that with the grindstone also. And that's our dog. Saying hi. So we're going to test that. See how it has the 4 things? No, you can build it on top, you definitely can't build it under. But the medical tent, or medical bed, you can see it also has the 4 posts. And it goes under the platforms just fine because of that. So I don't know if the grindstone is something they intend to eventually make so that you can do that, but as of right now, no, you can't put it under the platforms. But medical beds, yes. So you have that weird space underneath a platform, and throw a medical bed under there if you want. All right. Making some progress here. Foresters replanting our oak. Gotta love it. Now, is that tree gone? Yeah, the tree's gone. Cool. So we can finish this path, actually. Now that all the very high priority stuff is done, everything else is still being worked on. On normal priority, normal, normal. What else is there? That's low and that's normal. I think these are all just normal. Okay. So what is this for storing? Doesn't look like we actually have it set to store anything right now. So it looks like berries is something we should focus on also. We have a gatherer here. Probably don't need this much dandelion. So let's... We have a whole warehouse full and we don't use it for anything besides antidote. So let's mark all of that for destruction. We'll keep this section. I barely even noticed the drought was happening. Honestly. Alright, so let's bring this back down. And let's actually... mark all of this for destruction as well. Because we're going to go... dandelion right here, and berries over all this. But we'll just let them get caught up in all that. For the time being, as they harvest, they won't plant anymore in these areas, so that'll be good. Oh, overflowing. Got it. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it's a lot of water to get all of a sudden. This is all the way down, right? Alright, finally we've got some berries out here. Took a long time, but... Alright, we now have 6 unemployed beavers. That's good. That gives us a chance to expand industry and stuff. I think this is just going to be a staircase straight up. I don't have a way to access this. Maybe we should fix that. Let's polish that. That. And that. We'll do a double platform right here. With a single here. And that'll give us a way to access this area once those are done. So if we do manage to keep green up here, like we are currently doing, just a couple extra growing spots that we didn't have access to before. Really moving on this. This bank reinforcement. And once that's done, we should be good to go for the Badtides. And slowly but surely we are replacing all of the trees that got killed from all of the previous Badtides. Slow going, obviously, but yes. Maple syrup. Nice. The other thing we could look at doing is maybe making some cattail crackers. And we would plant cattails like in this section of the river. So if we did platforms here, a staircase here, we could do an aquatic farmhouse here. And recover all of this section. And all the way up to this dam, which we should just replace with platforms. We might do that eventually. But yeah, that'd be good. Alright, we got 8.5k science. We haven't done much with that of late. Is there a reason he's not replanting any of these? There is. I had him stop planting this section so we could cut down all of it and replace it with oaks. And we're going to do that for most of these. But we haven't managed to cut down these or these. I don't remember my thought process here. I haven't needed them, so. We're getting there. A few more to go. We've already come a long way. once this is done, we should basically be completely impervious to Badtides. Even as it stands right now, we could kind of flood out this area without hurting us. But we definitely want this finished. And we're actually going to have you prioritize berries, believe it or not. For a while I was thinking berries were kind of pointless for folktales, because they don't have a... like, as far as the nutrition well-being boosts for the beavers, they don't provide anything. They're just generic food. But you do need them to make antidotes, so even for the folktales, there is a reason to continue to plant and harvest those. Plus, you know, it's food when you run out of everything else. Thankfully, the beavers don't really pull from the berries if there's other food sources available. Because, like, their well-being comes from all this stuff and not so much of the other stuff. Chestnuts, yeah. Our chestnut production is pretty low at the moment. Which eventually we'll be able to stop cutting these. And once these are all replanted, or we just destroy those. Well, I guess it's more the range of the flag here, not so much the tapper shack. Now we can definitely say not to cut these trees. Because they're in range of the tapper. Oh, there's more. Alright. Said don't cut these. Our maple syrup, of course. So these 3 saplings and this. And yeah, let's look at the chestnuts. That was all in range of the gathering flag. So if it's a living tree in that section, don't cut it. Yeah, the pine trees. These. Don't cut any of those. Don't cut these. And don't cut these. You can, however, cut this. And, you know, please do. That. Basically, that whole area you can cut. So that will keep these in reserve for chestnuts. And some of these maple trees for maple syrup, and these pine trees for pine resin. And then this whole section here also for pine resin. And everything else, I believe, is cuttable. No wonder they're not cutting these down. Okay. Cool, so that will reserve these areas for the secondary resource gathering. Should help the chestnut production a little bit. And everything else will be for wood. Alright. Alright, good. A lot of these chestnuts are starting to mature, and we've got them set to not cut, so those will start growing chestnuts. We'll get that food source going a little bit harder. Because we're keeping up with some of the other stuff, but definitely not that. Why are these not highlighted? We're cutting. I don't know how I missed that. Okay. Okay, we've got another drought approaching. Of course, now that we have a defense against Badtide, that's not going to do any. It's going to be all droughts. And we're coming right along here. I imagine this is probably not going to be a permanent solution. We're talking like long-term super endgame kind of thing. We can eventually come all the way back here to our sources. Yikes, it just doesn't give you many options for that, does it? That's exactly what this is supposed to be for. An easier diversion for Badtide. So you block this off, break this open, and let it run down here. And break this open, and it will join this channel, which is what we're doing anyway. Just it'll do it sooner. I would even like to take that a step further, though. Maybe like dynamite out a channel here, so we can just take it straight off the map, right there, and at this level, so we don't have any lingering. And then probably kind of the same thing for this one over here. Yeah, we could like dynamite a channel right here. And put a floodgate here and let it divert it when necessary. And then we can actually get rid of all of this infrastructure that we've built. Because we wouldn't need it at that point. But that's like way, way, way down the line. This is almost done, so that's great. And we just let them catch up on everything. We do have a drought about to hit. I'm curious, if I bring this up to like 0.9, that'll fill in this area a little bit back here. So this gives us a little bit of a reservoir of water to use just in case. Like if the drought's super long and we happen to burn through all of this water at this level, we can open these up and let all of this flow down, and that gives us like just that little bit extra. I think we're gonna be fine though. Okay, so now those are marked for not cutting. Forest will replant them, but no one will come behind and cut them. And these are starting to get harvested. Why is this still here? This we need to get rid of. That's a super old from when we were cutting down all this. I didn't even know that was still there. Actually, let me look at something. Okay, you do go all the way over there. What about you? You also go all the way over there. And all the way over here. It might make more sense to move these up here. Because like all the tree cutting is happening up in this area. And we might actually just want to reduce it to 1. Because there's not a lot of tree cutting that needs to happen in this area. I guess I do reach over here too, though. Yeah, we'll leave them for now. Okay, now you can see this side is starting to get a little bit low. Because we're still pumping. Since that's the case, let's go ahead and release this. And that will hopefully fill this enough to push some water into here. Alright, we're going to put this back up to 0.9. So when the water starts flowing again, it doesn't flood our area. At least hopefully. Alright, and some of that did spill over. Not a ton, but it helped. And just 1.9 days left of the drought. Alright, we'll close that back off. I mean, I guess because that dam's there, it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, not really. Because the pumping is happening over on this side, and this is blocking it from hitting this side. So levy coming. Okay, nice. 2, 3, 4, 6 more. 6 more, and they are done. Completely, totally. And then it doesn't matter if it floods this area, because that's, you know, not an area we're using. That's totally fine. It won't touch this area, and that is the point. No, it's not great when it gets shallow like this, but it does look nice. That really light blue color. All right. Officially that dried up. But it should be coming back here pretty quick, so. And it's smart to have this, so. It keeps all of this area hydrated. And drought is over. Water running down these channels here pretty quick. Seems like the bad water moves a lot faster. And I know that some people have tested it and like not any more forceful or anything, but it does seem like it moves quicker, you know. Alright, so that's gonna start backing out. There we go. Did flood us out a little. Not too bad. Okay. And we're back in business. And at 0.9 it does occasionally flood the banks here, but nothing too bad. Try maybe 0.85. That seems to be handling it better. Okay, cool. Okay, this is almost done. Technically, with the completion of this one, it's functional. Alright. It's functional. Now it's just waiting for them to finish this one, and then it's like officially done. And halfway there. A little more now. Here we go. That is officially the bad water diversion project completed. Bad water, or bad tides, no longer a problem for us. And just pop this up and let it flow down this way. Down and around our beaver colony. Now the builders just have a bunch of stuff to catch up on. Here in the home area. And catch up they will. Let's look at the cutting area here. And let's have our shack. Yeah, all these saplings can be set to not cut. The trend will continue until we get these out of the way. Slowly but surely. Working our way through. Alright, it kind of looks like we might need to just do some resource destruction on the last couple dead trees, at least over on this side. We're cutting here, here, or here. Those have been marked. And we can do... Okay, well. Someone's actually coming and cutting these down, which I'm surprised about, but... There you go. Alright, so for these two, though, mark them for destruction. And they're still in cutting areas, so they could get cut down or they could get destroyed, but either way, they'll eventually be gone. Alright, that actually marks the last row. It's going to be marked for not cutting, so it's literally just 8 more dead trees. Now this project is more for like drought preparation than it is for anything else. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. This should allow us to hold back quite a bit more water. And this height was probably overkill. Because, like, I can't hold back all of this unless I build another gate here. And even then, it would have to, like, fill higher than it's flowing, which is just, that isn't going to work, but that's okay. Still be able to hold back quite a bit and flood this and keep it hydrated, which will hugely expand our green area. Alright, food is almost at 1,000, which is really good. Unemployed beavers are up at 11 for the moment. Also really good. Do not late cut these. For this, for this. So just these three. Yep, just those three. That gives us plenty of maple and resin, pine trees. How do I undestroy something? Okay. There we go. All right. Yeah, we're starting to get some good progress on this project. Like, this part has to be done before we can do anything about it, but yeah, we literally have all that going. So I was looking at some different stuff to see if maybe I should do bridges here instead of levees, so I could use the space underneath. Shorter answer is no, not really. There's just no reason to. Because you can't plant crops under platforms. And you can build bridges over crops, but then you can't replant them under the bridge anyway, so there's not really much point. At least that's what my testing revealed. So I guess unless you, like, got something renewable there, like a berry bush, that doesn't need to be replanted. I mean, that's an idea. But, like, I'm not going to have a whole gather a flag for 2 berry bushes. It'd be a bit silly. Because this whole operation is going to move down over here. Oh, they're still there. Okay, so the chestnuts have filled in quite nicely. We're not currently allowing them to be cut. Looks like they're still filling in. There's probably a sapling down there. And we can do that over here too. There's a couple things that just don't need to be destroyed. And we're cutting in this area. And it's just this one tree. We cut that down, we mark the area for not cutting, and then that's kind of that. Everything else is good to cut. Well, probably from here. I was like, how did they even get up there? Alright, food is officially over 1,000. Water's right around 650. Pretty good. Yeah, we just had a lot of stuff on the back burner while we worked on this project here. I'm kind of hoping that there'll be another Badtide before we have to go, just so we can, like, give it its thorough test, you know. So far, we just keep getting droughts. See? Droughts. And I don't think this is going to be ready in time to do anything about that. Come on, little beavers. Build like your life depends on it. Because it does. Yeah, they're burning through that pretty quick. Nice. Wasn't sure they would end up cutting those down, but there you go. And that is officially done. That's great. These are all for maple syrup production. These are all for making chestnuts. These and these are for pine resin. Kind of cool to see them just sort of stick up here. I guess we could expand this up to here. There is that little bit of green, so destruction. We can mark this not for destruction because it's done already. Yeah, having some extra chestnuts isn't gonna hurt anything. Can our forester even reach that? No. Can either of them reach that? Not so much. Okay, so let's not do that then. Technically, there's plantable space, but we don't have anything close enough to do anything with it, so that's okay. .2 days. Now, technically, this levee system should be functional, but we don't have the gates in, so looks like we're gonna have to wait for the next one. Alright, so that's gonna hold back all that there. And then we just continue about our business. Yeah, right now very little changes because of how we have everything set up. Really just this part. And eventually once this dries up, some of this will pull back, but that's about it. Alright, now if we have fluid dump, this would go along a path. Dump water into an area. Like this. So that is an option for filling this up. But it would pull from our drinking water. I don't love. Okay, and then this is mechanical fluid pump. It kind of sits on top of like a levee wall and pumps from one side. I'm guessing is the right side for the graphic here, and discharges on the other. Which that would work here if we replaced this with a platform. Then it'd be like on the path. That's also not ideal. I don't know. Something to think about. I didn't even realize it was paused. I was like, why is no one moving? Alright, so hopefully this will be ready by the time the drought is over. And it looks very much like it will be. And then we can retain just a whole bunch of water. Alright, 5 days left. Food's dropping a little bit. I'm guessing we're in between a harvest cycle. And those sunflower seeds you just cannot keep in stock. Okay, and like technically there's stuff to do here. But it is functional at this point. Those are just like finishing pieces. Let me see something here. Basic needs, hunger, thirst, sleep, shelter, and wet fur. Those are pretty much provided for. Nutrition, we know there's a bunch of nutrition stuff to do. Plenty of social life stuff that needs done. Campfire, rooftop terrace, contemplation spots, Agora, and dance hall. And we've got some aesthetics, shrubs, lanterns, roofs, scarecrows, beaver statue, and bulletin pole. That's a lot of, I don't do much of that. Honestly, I don't worry about the aesthetics too much typically, but I really should do more because they're not that expensive science-wise, and they provide some well-being benefits. Then we have Awe with the Farmer Monument, Brazier of Bonding, Fountain of Joy, and Earth Recultivator. That's all this stuff. Then there's the Detailer, Lido, Carousel, and Mud Pits, and then Books for knowledge. Books is a whole thing. Like, I've tried it in a personal playthrough, and like, it's really hard to get books to everyone. Like, you gotta have a very good printing industry set up to make that happen. Alright, what do we got? 2 more gates? And 3 more platforms before this is functional. Technically, these should be at 0 for now. And they're actually on top of levees. because this is like 4 tall. So it's always going to hold back a little bit. Which works. So as it stands right now, I'm going to hold back enough to fill this. 0.9 would fill up all of this space, and 1.9 would fill in all of this space. So that's what we're looking for. .9. Those will pretty much just stay at that height. So it's not too much taller than it needs to be. Like, we could force it to fill more, but it would actually flood over top of all of this. It's just really just not what we want. Because it like flow over here and then spill into our colony. Yeah, one floodgate to go before it's functional. Then you've got this little bit and the platforms here, but yeah, I think this is going to be ready by the time the drought's over. And you can see the need. Have all this going on. So let's zero this out for now. Well, it's going to flood through there. I don't know if that's going to be enough to actually get any water over here or not, but this is why we need to replace this with platforms. .2 days. Where are we at with this last? Needs 16 logs, and someone just bang on it a little bit, and it'll be good to go. So, I think we've got the logs. Oh yeah, we've got the logs. Dang, they're like hardcore pumping out of this reservoir. Alright, so let's cancel some of our destruction since these have been cut down. Alright, yeah, the gates are in. That path is in, and we're finishing off the levees back here. But it is functional. And the drought is over, basically. So now we're going to see some water coming down this way. We're going to just leave this open all the way so it can fill up all this area. So then when we're in a drought, we need some extra water, we can just lower this a couple notches and let some spill down into here. Wow, we actually drained that whole reservoir. Kind of impressive. Alright, so here comes the cool part. Starting to fill this in. Interestingly enough, as it stands, we might actually want to do some floodgates here. And let's prioritize this stuff. I didn't think about it, but yeah, it is going to fill in that space also as it fills up this reservoir and fills this in. That's unfortunately preventing water from getting down to our area. So let's bring this down until we start getting some flow into our area. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to lose any over here unless it's bad water, so hence we're actually going to put floodgates there. Which is kind of funny, I didn't expect to have to do that. But we did get this filled in, which makes all of this farmable land. Plus, got all of this also. Which we may end up moving this piece at some point, but right now, should be good. I think I tried to line it up with the structure of the colony, but not sure. All right. I didn't realize that this project was also going to be part of this project. And this is almost done. Technically functional at this point. I'll put this up to 1. We don't want to lose any water over here. Now we should be good to put this up a little bit higher. By a little higher, I mean a lot higher. That should backfill all of this. And it'll take a minute, but we'll get there. Got water spilling into here now. This is my favorite thing, though. Being able to fill this in. And we're almost there. I'm hoping this will allow for enough outflow that it won't like back up anywhere. Let's start spilling over pretty quick here. Alright, and the goal is to like not overtop this. Nope. It's spilling over, so. They're 185. It looks like 185 might accomplish what we're trying to do. It looks like that is as much water as we can store without like letting ourselves out. This should evaporate here in a minute. Alright. There we go. Another project completed. I didn't necessarily intend to make this all part of like a giant reservoir system or anything, but that's what it is. So when Badtide comes, we'll pause, we'll seal this, we'll open this, and let a lot of this drain out so that it's ready to hold back the Badtide waters. And then we'll have all of this as emergency reservoir. Alright, we've got 4 unemployed beavers. Well, baby beavers, so that's good. Alright, so we should be quite well prepared for floods or droughts. Or not floods, but droughts and bad tides. So that's great. It looks like grilled chestnuts has picked back up. Oh yeah. Since we have a dedicated area to grab them from. There's a ton of them. Guess then we're full up. Oh nice. Start to build all this. Area warehouse is full. That's good. Like paper warehouse is full. Resin warehouse is full. And what's this missing? Oh, nothing. Just effort. Alright, so we're officially collecting maple syrup, which is cool. Get rid of this, because it's been cut down. Yeah, slowly but surely these are just being removed. Here we have a drought approaching. Well, should we well prepared for that? And I honestly don't think we have to change anything here. For a drought, the water just sort of stops flowing. And then as we need water down here, we'll lower these gates. Currently set at 1.85. Basically the highest we can set them at. Without, flooding the world. That is. If I did put levees across here, raise this by 1. Put a levee here and here. And replace these with 2 high floodgates. We technically could go a little higher. But this would become kind of pointless and not effective anymore, so we probably don't want to do that. Okay, so we have our aquatic farmhouse built here. So all the way to here, and down to here. Honestly, let's just go ahead and fix this, because it keeps bugging me. These are going to be our main priority here. And for whatever reason, it didn't do the path tool for me. Yeah, he's like stuck at work. Sucks for you, buddy. Okay, so let's change priorities. Bring these down to high, but not very high. These two need to be very high, so we can rescue this guy. It'll be a long way out, but we can come all the way around. They're coming. Yeah, it's a long way around, that's for sure. He's sleeping in there. That's awesome. Come on. Finish that platform so he can get out. It literally just needs like a couple more hammer strokes. There we go. Alright. Alright, and destruction has begun. Right. Now, this technically extends past where that was, which is good. We're going to be planting cattails. That's the absolute furthest you can go with it. If there's any spots we missed. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so now we're going to need a warehouse. We're actually going to switch to large warehouses. And this one, I'm going to go right here. And it's going to store cattails. Now, what do we do with cattails? Well, we put them through a grist mill. Or grits mill, okay. What was grist mill? I don't know why I thought that. And that will basically be up in one of these areas. Okay, so that works for the entrance. I need a platform there. Although we could do a warehouse. I don't know what we'll store there, but something. Let's see. There's food. Grits mill. It's perfectly right there. And we need to power this building. And we'll use a windmill to do that. And in fact, we are making everything we need for a large windmill. We have the science to unlock it, so let's unlock it. Gives us more placement options, better placement options, and just more power. We're going to put that there, and we're going to put that there. And we do have a way to get to that, even with those, so that's good. And that'll make flour. We're going to make another large warehouse. And we're actually going to set this to also do cattail roots. And it will obtain. And this one will supply. And then this one is going to be storing the cattail flour. And then we need a bakery. close to the windmill, I think. If I build a platform there, we can set this back. Actually, good. So we can do a mini lodge here. We're not wasting any of that space. We're going to need stairs right here. And we can put our bakery right there. And you will be making cattail crackers. Which we'll be storing right here. Actually, cancel this. Put it right there. You are for flour. You are for the actual cattail crackers. Now, all of that is going to use a lot of resources. And the one thing we could really take advantage of here is a hauling post. We haven't put one in yet. I think it'd be pretty advantageous. Trying to figure exactly how we would do that. Really would like it to be kind of centrally located. Uppers. We'll let them work on that. We try to puzzle out exactly where to put this. Hauling post. Actually, I don't have any unemployed beavers at the moment either. I guess technically we cap the towers with like a hauling post. It's definitely not my ideal. Right now, though, I think we're just going to put it here. And this is definitely going to be technically a low priority workplace, but a high priority project. Because it'll just make the whole colony more efficient. Wow, I did not expect any of these to ever get cut down. But we do want to destroy these. Oh, I guess we're in a drought. I kind of like forgot. That was pretty funny. Alright, and these are all set up now. Good. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, we already had a hauling post. I did not realize. Okay, well now we have two. Should help keep us pretty efficient. That's also why we did the low priority workplace thing. So they'll take these jobs if there's like nothing else for them to do, but everything else will be at least normal priority or better. And drought is over. Good. Just in time. Like, where's the water? It takes so long to make its way all the way down. There we go, starting to flow. Trying to backfill again. Seems pretty low though, so I think we're gonna lower this a little. Just to let some water flow into the area. And then we'll raise it back up once we're kind of refilled down here. And you got quite a few cattails planted. And we even managed to flood out the area a little bit, so let's get back up to our 1.85. Alright, good. It's funny because you kind of see where the river channels are supposed to be and like how much we've flooded it out. Yes, I know you just... No, gristmill. Yeah, you need to make cattail flour. Now you just need power. It is being worked on. No one can get up to that to make it, can they? Alright, well, this. There we go. Now people can get to the windmill. Alright, food seems to be in a good situation, so let's expand our housing just a touch. Now we just need some wind. There we go. Even a slight breeze with such a large windmill gives us all the power we need. And I don't even have a product set for this, so I'm literally just going to cancel it. Or no. No, we'll wait. Because, like, we could do another lodge here to kind of give us more of the space available. Yeah, they're working on it. We have already have that. Alright, we've got some cattails fully grown now. What are these? Yeah, those are maples. Could be oaks. We are getting there. We're starting to bake some cattail crackers. Those have officially entered the food pool. You know what, since we had a hauling post, let's just get rid of this other one. We really don't need it. I didn't realize we already had one. And so the forester could technically plant over here too. With the farmhouse. Yeah, it can't switch, so this will be berries. And they cut back the trees here hard. And are these in range for anyone to actually cut them? Oh yeah, they are. Oh, these guys. And they are being cut. That's good. Is replanting as we go, so. Wow, we've got kind of a lot of maple syrup. Alright, so just pause here. If we were going to make maple pastries, what all do we need for that? Wheat flour and maple syrup. Cool. Keep working on that. So we need to grow wheat flour. Means we need to grow wheat. That might be a project for next time. But it'll be good to get use out of our huge reservoir of maple syrup. Oh man, we actually have a full thing of sunflower seeds for once. Guess we just needed some extra food variety to reduce the pressure on that one food resource there. And 6 unemployed beavers. Good. Good, good. Alright, I need to prioritize these. So we can go ahead and get our oaks planted over here. I think we're going to go ahead and unlock the fluid dump. Need one for it to sit on, and one for the path. And let's go to tree planting. Alright, the lumber deck, technically, all the way down to here, so also all the way down to here. Alright, let's grab the fluid dump. That here. And expand our growing area just a little bit. And these require treated planks, which we're not making yet. I do have resin available, so could. Oh yeah, all that is good. Technically, this spot, 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 and this spot are all being filled with water by our fluid dump here. Alright. I was hoping we'd get at least one before the end of the stream here. That sounds weird, but now, presumably, it cannot possibly dump. Okay, yeah, so it only dumps up to a certain height. Good. So it'll just maintain this at that level. Okay. Alright, so this was officially built Don't know what we want to store here yet. Probably a food item. Potato flour, potato roots, chestnuts, fired up. Technically, we're not, you know, potatoes don't have yet dandelions, wheat, and wheat flour. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure yet. So we're just gonna leave that be. And when we have an idea what we want to store there, we'll update it. Yeah, I love that this only fills to a certain level and then stops. That's brilliant. And it's probably based on the height of the actual dump. I was worried it would just like keep spilling over and keep using all of our drinking water to fill that area. But no, it looks good. And it really expanded our growing area back here. So that's perfect. At 1.3 days till the Badtide. I'm thinking maybe like a half a day. We'll close this off and dump this reservoir. Just so we don't have any like spillover. Okay. We're officially closing that off. And we're going to pop this open. There's going to be a little spillover while this starts diverting all of that way. And that's okay. That'll actually already create the flow pattern that we're wanting. Here comes the Badtide. See how fast that comes after it says, here comes the Badtide. It's already going this way. Yeah, and it definitely flooded up over this area. That's to be expected. And these levees are doing their job, keeping everything on this side and channeling it on down this way. And yeah, it is flooding a little bit down here and back into here, but yeah, that's fine. Not using any of that area. I guess having floodgates here is kind of pointless, but that's alright. I think this worked out pretty well. We have all of this water if we need it. All this goes on. Another 6.3 days. So this is something to consider. If we plant anything along here, when we get bad tides, it's going to get ruined. We still have all of this space that's completely secure, all this space that's secure, and all of this green space that is also secure. Okay, and then when we have them, the corruption pushes in this way. We are going to have to expand our tree cutting area just a little. Include these. Technically they're for maple syrup, but we don't actually need any more right now. And they need to get replaced. I can't believe how far it pushes in. Yeah, those are already marked for cutting, so I just had to take this strip and then these three, add to the cuttable area. That kind of takes care of that. Alright. Technically, if it's a dead bush, we should get rid of it. Alright, so we are going to expand our dandelion growing area ever so slightly. And we're going to plant a whole field of berry bushes. And we've got just about 3 minutes left in the stream. Little things that the forester can hit. No. But they haven't been planted yet. Let's move a lot of that. How far can the forester actually go? Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's the range of the forester. Actually, it doesn't include this tree either. Funny enough. Let's replant over here. There we got the dandelions, and we're starting to do the berries. Gather is set to prioritize berries, which is good. Got a lot more paths in. We've got drought protection. Let's let out a little bit of water. To make sure this area stays nice and full. And we're getting it there. Go all the way to 1. Letting quite a bit through, which is good. Let's bring this back up. Cool. We still actually have quite a bit left back here. No, I say that, but this is just going to stay there. Yeah, this just continues to go this way. The level has dropped considerably. But yeah, 100%, if we didn't have this levee here, it would be flooding into our area, which would be no good for us. So very glad to have it in a good spot now. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it. So let's get this pause. And thanks for joining us today. If you want to see more of this, let me know. And if not, let me know that too. But we did what we set out to do. We got the Badtide diversion project finished. We have a huge water reservoir for droughts. And we've expanded the food quite a bit. Plus, like, finishing off this little project here, which is just a little bit of cool icing on the cake. So, thanks guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time, build safe.